69 days to election 2020. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. We're celebrating 25 years of bold and fearless journalism. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios here in Kokomlemle. It's a digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across the country, including A1 Radio in Bolgatanga, Volta Premier in Ho, and Radio Max in Takrady. We're around the world at myjoyonline.com. In this edition, Volta Regional House of Chiefs accuses government of failing to honor invitation to emergency meeting to resolve separate attacks in the region. We have details as an unknown group burns down a bus at the STC yard, assaulting a driver amid firing of gunshots.
I was sleeping in the bus when I heard a gunshot. The back window of the bus got broken. I woke up to check what was happening. Then I heard another gunshot.
I heard them break a window of the bus. Then suddenly the bus caught fire.
We have details as government's approach to dealing with what experts say is a major security crisis comes under scrutiny.
So these are persons who are not connected to the crime whatsoever.
Monday's actions have demonstrated that the public rhetoric about the quality of our ability to prevent and also to take proactive action probably needs to be looked at.
We're live on the ground. Also, former President Mahama condemns activities of separatist groups in the Volta region as he touts the NDC as a unifying party.
Ghana is a sovereign republic. Nobody can claim a part of Ghana. If you see what now we so can say, oh, and maybe not Ghana. Once you betray the and then
we have more as he continues his campaign in the Bono region. We'll also bring you updates from the Ashanti region, where the president has been touring, in the Greater Accra region, where the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has begun a tour. Also, health experts warn shisha smoking is fast becoming a threat to healthy hearts.
Especially in this pandemic. As at yesterday, we know that we had a mortality of about 299 people dying, and we see that most of these people have one form or the other of heart disease. Hypertensives are there, people who are in chronic cardiac failure.
We have sports.
Preparation is underway as Premier League clubs begin to prepare for the upcoming Premier League season. We'll be live at the training grounds of Dreams FC to find out how they are preparing for the upcoming Ghana Premier League season.
And later in the bulletin, we'll bring you the very latest on the NSMQ as four-time winners Prempeh College, one-time winner St. Thomas Aquinas, and Asanteman SHS are battling for the sport at the quarterfinals. It's live on the Joy News channel. That and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu.
When one of them was attacking me, the others behind the car were firing the shots. I saw the tip of the gun. It's a hunting rifle. They attacked the security man at the fuel station. They kicked him and he fell down.
So eyewitnesses recounting the events of this dawn. Gun-wielding men suspected to be members of separatist groups stormed the STC yard, beating up staff and setting buses ablaze. Today, the Volta Regional House of Chiefs is accusing government of failing to engage with them in their attempt to find a solution to the problem. The security agencies have so far arrested 31 people. Security analysts are already raising concerns about how the state is handling this particular matter. We'll hear from them, but let's head live to the STC yard where our correspondent Fred Kwame Asare has been getting the latest on what exactly happened. So Fred, what have you gathered?
Well, when I got here this morning, I spoke to the driver. He explained that at about 2 a.m. he was sleeping at the rear seat or on the rear seat of his vehicle when he heard gunshots in the yard. So before he could alight from the vehicle, he saw two men holding guns on him. They asked him to go down his knee, and then he was on his knee on the ground, and then he realized that the vehicle was on fire. So that was what he saw. And then also there was another security who also explained that he heard the gunshots in the yard, and then he could not tell the number of people that attacked them at this dawn. But then there are three security officers who usually man the area when the day's activities come to an end. So I should say that that's what the security officers told me.
I was sleeping in the bus when I heard a gunshot. The back window of the bus got broken. I woke up to check what was happening, then I heard another gunshot. Just when I stepped out of the bus to check, it caught fire. Suddenly, someone pointed a gun to my head and asked that I lie down. I knelt down and raised my hands, begging them not to kill me. I saw two men, but I think they were more than that. They went to the security man and demanded for the keys. Then they moved behind the yard. Then I fled.
It was dark, so I couldn't see their faces. I asked them what was happening. They said I should wake up and lie on the ground. I begged them. They said I should lie down with my face on the ground and not speak. I heard them break a window of the bus. Then suddenly, the bus caught fire. When I realized they had left, I ran from the yard to report to the police.
Now, Fred, you've also been interacting with another eyewitness in the area. Did he tell you what exactly he saw?
Yeah, so this eyewitness lives close to the whole STC yard. He lives at the backyard of the station. He mentioned that at about 12 midnight, 3 men came to the area. They were just sitting there idling about. So a colleague or his neighbor approached and asked them that what were they doing here. They couldn't say anything, so he asked that they leave. However, he didn't insist on that, so he left and then went into his room. He also realized that the numbers kept increasing. It increased to 5, and then the 6 individuals also came to add to the 5 who were already at the scene. He mentioned that there was also one of them stationed at the later end of the yard, that is at the back of the yard, where he at some point in time went into their house. Perhaps he was communicating with some people. So at about 2 a.m., they accessed the STC yard through the back. They accessed the STC yard through the back. That is, they jumped the fence and then entered the yard before they undertook their operations. He also mentioned that he saw some inscriptions on the shirts, and then they were golden flags, which made him believe that these people were members of the secession group, that is the Western Togoland group. Now,
tell us about the extent of damage to properties. We know that one STC bus was set ablaze. The eyewitness also says the fire service doused the flame. Tell us more about it.
Yes, so 2 vehicles got damaged here. One had been completely burnt. All installations in the vehicle hasn't burnt. All the seats are burnt. The dashboard, the steer, the car tape, and everything in this car is completely burnt. All the tires beneath the cars have also been burnt. Just one at the left side that has suffered some small damage. However, the second car had portions of it burnt. The right side was completely burnt. The windows have been taken off, and then seats in the car the sides of the seats in the car has also been burnt. The rear screen of this second vehicle has also been damaged. So that is the extent of damage. If the security, if the Ghana National Fire Service were not to have responded swiftly to the call, I believe the car parking next to the one that has been completely damaged would have also been burnt.
No, so that's our regional correspondent, Volta regional correspondent, Fred Kwame Asare. Now, the Ghana Police has issued a statement on that matter. The head of our security desk, Gifty Ando-Apia, joins me in studio with more on this. We have a lot that we'll be tackling, but let's first look at the police statement. What does it say?
So this police statement that's on their social media handle indicates that they are investigating the allegation that about 2 a.m. today, 4 armed men stormed the whole STC yard, demanding keys to all the vehicles parked and set 2 of the mini buses ablaze when the drivers did not produce the keys. It goes on to say that the arrival of the police and fire service personnel did save the situation, but then preliminary investigations shows that there were 11 vehicles parked at the time of the incident. The police says 1 bus was completely bent and another slightly bent, and they say also, Emefa, that they found a flag of the group which calls itself the Western Togoland Restoration Front was found at the scene. But the police is urging the public to remain calm whilst volunteering information to the police and other security services. That's how it ends the statement.
Okay, stay with me, Gifty. Now, security analyst Professor Kwesi Ening says the latest attack shows government's rhetoric of having the situation under control is not the reality.
Monday's actions have demonstrated that the public rhetoric about the quality of our ability to know and to prevent and also to take proactive action probably needs to be looked at. The second equally important impact relates to the international dimension. We live in a terribly dangerous, bad neighborhood. Burkina Faso is being encircled, or Ouagadougou is being encircled. The international dimensions of these actions and our slow responses send signals first to all the sub-state actor groups that are threatening the contiguous states to Ghana, our reputation as a major troop contributing country and a peace contributing country. Have we focused so much on international dimensions of peacekeeping that we've slightly taken our eye off internal operations?
Now, a lawyer for the 31 persons who've been charged for Friday's revolt, Theophilus Donko, insists the state has the wrong persons in custody.
All the people who are alleged to have belonged to the successing group have left the scene. There was one who was even the driver's mate, who the master asked him to go and find out what is happening in front of us, that there is so much traffic. So these are persons who are not connected to the crime whatsoever. When they were arrested, they had no access to counsel, they had no access to their relatives, but they still insisted that we do not know anything about this group. We have no connection with this group.
Now, we've been speaking to the lawyer for the 31 persons who've been charged, Theophilus Donko there. We can now speak to Mr. Emmanuel Bombande. He's a senior mediation advisor with the UN. We're thankful for your time here on the Midday News. So yesterday you had called for the state to deal with this issue head on. Surprised by this latest attack, and what should be done going forward?
So first of all, let me greet you. Good afternoon, and all your listeners. What's happening, as we can see, is a quick pattern that has emerged. So we were talking about the intelligence failure that we discussed last night, but it doesn't matter how much intelligence you have, it is only effective in use when there is coordination and there is coherence. And so we are quickly carrying with us now the burden of that failure increasing. But there is a second level of the response to protect people, to protect installations. And if the attacks continue to recur as they are doing, concerns now definitely are heightened, because the people of Ghana will begin to ask what exactly is happening. Now, keep in mind, you are talking about a Ghana Armed Forces that landed on the beaches of Monrovia and took on mortars, but made their way into the city as the very first beginning of a peacekeeping mission in that country that stabilized Liberia. Now, this comes to my mind when I hear the contribution of Professor Enning. And so, is it the failure of that armed forces the people of Ghana know? Or is it something else?
Well, Mr. Emmanuel Bombande there is a senior mediation advisor with the UN. Would love to continue that conversation with him. But of course, subsequently, we'll be engaging Mr. Emmanuel Bombande on his excellent views on this particular issue. But on to some other issues at this point, because the Volta Regional House of Chiefs has issued a statement on the disturbances in the region, raising concerns about their inability to meet key security officials. Gifty, you have a copy of that statement. Yes. Briefly walk us through what they've been saying.
So the statement indicates that there was a standing committee of the Volta Region House of Chiefs meeting, an emergency meeting, it calls it, on the 27th day of September 2020. And in the second paragraph, it says that the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Mr. Kofi Jamesi, and the Minister for National Security, Mr. Albert Kandapa, were invited to attend this very important meeting, but were not able to attend. And then they go on to list the reasons given them by the ministers for which reason they couldn't show up. It says, while the Minister for National Security indicated that he was already in Kumasi to prepare for the President's tour of the Ashanti region, the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs said he had previously scheduled other appointments for the day and so could not attend. This statement is signed by Toby Tepre Hodo the fourth. And thankfully, we have him join us here on the Midday News. We are grateful for your time, Toby Tepre Hodo. You are the Vice President for the Volta Regional House of Chiefs. First off, I would want to find out how exactly this invitation was sent to those you've mentioned. You've mentioned the National Security Minister and, of course, the Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Minister, Mr. Kofi Jamesi. Who specifically sent this invitations to them?
Yes, with respect to Mr. Albert Kandapa, Tokwe Afede, the National House of Chiefs, who also happens to be a member of the standing committee, informed me he had invited him to the meeting. He said he was already in Kumasi to prepare for the president's tour of that region. And then the registrar of the Volta House of Chiefs was tasked on Saturday, that is the day before the meeting, to invite the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs to the meeting. And he responded that he had previously scheduled some meetings or appointments for that day, that is the Sunday that we're going to hold the emergency meeting. And so he could not attend. That was what happened.
Well, but the meeting went on anyway, but subsequently, have you sought to find out from these two why they were not able to attend the meeting? Because you had some resolutions that will be going through quickly.
Yes, I think that what is happening now is that the message has gone out that there's going to be a meeting on Thursday. I'm not too sure whether that's going to come on, but that is at the prompting of the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs.
But then if that meeting was going to come off, why the need for this statement putting out what it is that you were hoping that government would have done and that immediate investigation that you are asking for government to put together?
That's what I'm saying. We're not even sure the meeting is going to come on.
Why do you say so?
It was only this morning that we were told that there's a meeting being scheduled for Thursday, and now I have even informed that it's been rescheduled for Friday.
But why do you feel that that meeting will not come off? What exactly? Where is that stemming from? Where is that suspicion stemming from?
I'm not saying that it's not going to come off. What I'm saying is that we have now gotten the information that a meeting is being scheduled for Thursday, and the latest is that it's been rescheduled for Friday. Yeah.
Well, so you had some key questions, for instance, in the statement that you put out, raising concerns about the activities of this group, how they managed to mount their billboards and flags without anyone noticing. And more intriguing for you also was the ability of the culprits to hoist a flag of the Western Togoland in the Volta region. What exactly are you learning, and what exactly is the concerns of the Volta Regional House of Chiefs on this particular issue?
Yes, that these kinds of things could have been happening without anybody taking notice of these occurrences. Don't we have security men manning police checkpoints? People are carrying big billboards when they see. A whole flag is hoisted on the offices of the Regional Coordinating Council, and nobody saw who did it. These are very worrying situations that we're trying to bring up.
But largely in all this, today we've seen another distraction at the STC yard in Hull. We've seen what happened on Friday. 31 people have been arrested though. But in all this, are you satisfied with the handling of this particular issue by the security agencies and government for that matter? Not at all. Not at all. How so? We think that we could have done better. How because so? If you look at our statement, we really alluded to the fact that there could have been some intelligence way ahead of all this, to have rounded up all these people, to have abated the entire situation from maybe occurring. Well, Togbe Peprehodo, we'll leave it here for now. He's the Vice President of the Volta Regional House of Chiefs. He signed that statement. Thankfully, also, we have the Information Minister, Kojo Ponkruma, joining us on the line. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. So you've heard the Chiefs, apart from the fact that they invited the National Security Minister and the Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Minister for a meeting that was scheduled for Sunday, 27th day of September 2020. We are told that they did not attend and there was no representative from government. First off, what do you know about this issue?
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon to your listeners. I think we are jumping over the first big story in the statement that has been issued by the Volta Regional House of Chiefs, which is the fact that they condemn what transpired on Friday and the activities of these persons who seek to foster secessionist tendencies in their region.
That point has been made, and of course they raised a number of issues.
It is a bold, strong statement that we must highlight. That's number one. Number two, the said meetings on Sunday, barely about 48 hours after the original incident, were not attended by government officials. And in lieu of that, because they had some other engagements ongoing, in lieu of that, they quickly asked for us to have another meeting to engage. Which meeting is taking place this week? My understanding is that on Thursday. I have received my invitation. Several other persons who are responsible to be part of this meeting have already received their invitation for this meeting. So it is important for all of us to be on the same page and to collaborate and not to split hairs. We're looking forward to that meeting where we can also, if you recall my interviews on your platform yesterday, engage with the chiefs and community leaders on their role in helping us deal with the developments that have occurred. So what we have to do is to all be on the same page and work together.
But at this point, the page that the Regional House of Chiefs are on, at least at the voter region, they are saying that they are not happy with the way that this matter has been handled to start with. They raise a number of issues, 7 points, and it concludes by saying that the inability of national security to pick up any intelligence on these activities in order to prevent them or arrest the conspirators, allowing this despicable acts to be committed, is of concern to them. And you heard Tobita Prehodo a while ago raising concerns about it. What assurances are you given going forward into this meeting?
The facts don't even support that particular narrative. We have explained that in the Friday incidents, actionable intelligence led to the prevention of the more dire aspects of what would have happened. We also mentioned yesterday that there are outstanding threats. As of yesterday, I kept telling your colleagues on Asempa, etc., that there are outstanding threats that have to be contained. Part of it is what we've seen has happened this morning.
Which we are not able to contain. How do you explain it if you're containing a situation? How did we record an incident today again?
That is what brings me to my next point. It takes collaboration. For all of these things that are going on there are human beings who live within these communities. There are leaders in these communities who have bits of information who we have to collaborate to receive and act on. And that is exactly the point we are making and the reason for which we don't have to be splitting hairs publicly, but we have to be meeting and engaging and directing each other on what you can make available to us and what we can make available to you so that we win together. In
ending, Mr. Oponkroma, are you able to give assurances that this is a situation that government has under control?
I have explained over and over again that the Friday morning incidents were contained. Outstanding threats remain. We have to collaborate to win against those outstanding threats.
Okay.
If we start splitting hairs on radio and making public statements against each other, we won't win together. A divided house cannot stand.
We're grateful for your time. That's the Information Minister, Kojo Oponkroma. And we've also heard earlier from the Voter Regional House of Chiefs Vice President, Togbe Teprehodo IV. They've issued a statement on this issue. Apart from condemning, they have some concerns that they are hoping that will be addressed by government and the security agencies. The Midday News will take a quick break. When we return, we have more, including the campaign show where former President Mahama is condemning the activities of separatist groups in the voter region as he touts the NDC as a unifying party. We'll touch base with the president, who is also in the Ashanti region, and of course the vice president, who's also started his tour in the Greater Accra region. And don't forget, the National Science and Maths Quiz competition is currently underway live on the Joy News channel. We'll bring you details.
The Ministry of Monitoring and Evaluation, in collaboration with the Office of the Senior Minister under the Public Sector Reforms for Results Project, funded by the World Bank, brings to you the second virtual results fair under the theme Promoting Efficiency, Accountability and Citizen Engagement in Delivery of Selected Service on Tuesday, 29 September 2020, time 6 p.m. Venue, DBLA Head Office Auditorium, Cantonment. Frontline service delivery agencies, namely the Passport Office, the Driver Vehicle and License Authority, and the Birth and Death Registry, will take turns to showcase progress of implementation and measures taken to enhance service delivery. As part of the fair, there will also be a panel discussion on the topic, Enhancing Public Sector Efficiency through Effective Delivery of Frontline Services by the participating agencies. Be part of this virtual experience, interact with implementing agencies, and help bridge the results-based information gap. The event will be live on all major media channels.
This is the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Hans Mensando, he has the latest from the world of sports. Hans, welcome.
Thank you, Emefa. And clubs have begun preparation for the upcoming season after government issued the all-clear. Premier League side Dreams FC have had their first training session under the watchful eye of the technical team. Here is head coach of the side, Winfred Dormon.
Well, I'm impressed. I never expect to see what I saw in terms of their physical fitness and their technique and sharpness. I mean, I'm impressed. But as the day rolls on, we will take it over from there. But the turnout was good, and I'm happy. It's good, but they need time to gel with the old players. It appears the old players are used to our philosophy and ideas, but as we move along, I believe they will adapt.
Head coach of Dreams FC, Winfred Dormond there, and tonight there's action in the Carabao Cup. Tottenham are up against Chelsea later tonight at 6:45 p.m.
And this is your election headquarters. We hit the campaign trail now, and we start off from the former President Mahama. He's condemned the activities of separatist groups in the Volta region as he continues his campaign in the Bono region. Speaking on the matter during an interaction with chiefs in Jene in the Brekum East constituency, the former president urged the secessionists to back down on their stance as he touted the NDC as a party which unifies people.
Nanuya Volta region and Krofo Humbi Adesisia Coin say Volta region
We have heard of some group of persons who have been blocking roads in the Volta region to demand their independence from Ghana. We cannot allow such acts to continue.
Yengina Yeka Humbi Aigbe 4 Bono 4 Asante 4 Dagomba 4 Fante 4 Asante 4 Yengina Yeka Humbi. Ghana is a sovereign republic. Nobody can claim a part of Ghana.
Now, the former President John Mahama in the Bono region will head to the Ashanti region, where President Akufo-Addo is also continuing his tour there. The president met Asantehene Otumfuo to the second yesterday, who told him it is his government's good works that will get him re-elected in the December polls. It was after the president reviewed his government has completed a total of 774 projects in the Ashanti region.
The president started his tour in the Ashanti region with a visit to Unij Garment Factory under the One District, One Factory initiative. Then he headed to Asokoro Mampong, where he inspected the ongoing expansion project of the Kumasi Airport. From there, the president paid a courtesy call on Otumfuo to the second Asantehene Asanteman Council. Here, the president pleaded with Asanteman Council to bless him and his parliamentary candidate for the upcoming elections. He revealed at this point that the Buankra inland port that has halted for many years will be revived come November.
November Ankopon Preswa Buankra Inland Port, which has been on the drawing table for generations. Nene Bresso, Ebaso.
That's President Akufo-Addo in the Ashanti region. Here in the Greater Accra region, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, has also been outlining policies the NPP has in stock, including the National Transport Recapitalization Program, which will make it easy for commercial drivers to acquire new vehicles and ditch the rickety ones.
I say over 2 billion on spending on free SHS. And then also about expanded free SHS. I call included private schools. Only credibility.
And later this evening at 3 p.m., the Vice President will be on our sister station, Asempa FM, for an in-depth interview. We'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. Now, shisha smoking is fast becoming a threat to healthy hearts among the youth. This is according to Director of the Cardiothoracic Center, Dr. Lawrence Ajiman Srebo. He's been speaking at a ceremony in Accra to commemorate World Heart Day today.
We also know that the heart is one of the organs that can be affected by the COVID-19. So they develop problems with the heart, what we call aneurism. This is one of the things that kill people with heart disease who contract COVID.
And we apologize for that poor quality in sound there. It's time for NSMQ, and the die is cast, and there's no redemption as one NSMQ giant will be kicked out of the 2020 competition. 4-time winners, Prempeh College, 1-time winner, St. Thomas Aquinas, and Asanteman SHS are battling for the spot at the quarterfinals. Maxwell Agbagba is on the ground. He has all the latest. Maxwell, end of round 1. What are the scores?
Oh, Emefa, it's actually now end of round 2.
I'm late.
Yes. And round 2, and we have a shocker of a contest here, Emefa. There's a second round, and it's looking like a contest between Prempeh College and Asantman SHS, with St. Thomas Aquinas trailing. At the end of round 2, Asantman SHS had 16 points. Evans Mensah St. Thomas Aquinas had 6 points, and at Prempeh College they have 22 points. Emefa.
Aquinas was 6 points.
6 points.
I know in the competition there are days. Well, we'll get details of that. Of course, it's live on the Joy News channel as we speak, and all our social media platforms. You want to catch that competition? It's definitely you need to catch it, and that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news, of course, when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Pastor Mensa Otabil is up next with Living Word. It's time to plant and build.
Look at you, the big boss.
You know they hear.
You know they fear who?
Until